Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the BookTube Newbie Tag. So I've done a couple of videos before, and some of you who are subscribed to this channel might remember me doing this tag a few years ago. But I took a very long break from doing videos, and now that I'm back I thought I would do this tag again just to reestablish what this channel is going to be and I don't know, reintroduce myself, I guess. So hi, I'm Ink. Okay, so the first question on this tag is, why did you start this channel? So the reason I started this channel is because I love books, and that's honestly just the main answer, is that I love books, I love talking about books, I love reading books, and I have always just really liked the idea of having a YouTube channel to talk to people and interact with people, because I don't know a lot of people who read the same books that I do. So I wanted to have a community that I could interact with and talk to and share opinions and, you know, have discussions with. So that's the main reason I started this YouTube channel, was to be able to interact with a community that I wouldn't get to interact with otherwise. Because I know I could leave comments on other videos and interact in that sort of way, but this is a unique way to interact with people who maybe I wouldn't get to interact with otherwise. Okay, question 2 is, what fun and unique things do you think you can bring to BookTube? So I don't know about necessarily fun and unique. I'm right now just kind of focusing on getting content out there because I'm just so nervous in front of the camera. You might notice this watching this video, that I'm just so nervous because it's been a while since I've been on camera, and even back when I was doing other videos I didn't have a ton of experience being on camera, so it's just a new experience for me. But in the future I plan to bring fun and unique things in the form of my opinions and books that I really like, and introducing books that maybe other people haven't heard of before, because there's a bunch of books in my collection that I don't really see talked about a lot. For example, my favorite book. This is my favorite book. It's The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, and I don't see a lot of people talk about it, and I wanted to bring it up because it's amazing, so read it. It's amazing. Anyway, back to regular programming. I also think just along the way I'll come up with new video ideas that maybe other people haven't come up with, or new ways of introducing ideas, or new ways of doing things that maybe people haven't done before. Most of all, I think the fun and unique thing will be my own personality. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be narcissistic and say how much I think of myself, because honestly I am a giant bubble of insecurity and nervousness, but I think that my opinions and my personality will be a fun thing to bring to BookTube, because I'm a whole new person. I'm a whole different person, and I think it's fun to watch different people and see different opinions and see different people talk about the same things, because you're going to get a variety of opinions, a variety of personalities, a variety of, I just realized you can see my hands waving randomly while I talk. Just variety, essentially. And I know I've been babbling on about the same things, and I'm sorry, but this is all to say, I think I'll just bring something new, and I think that's pretty cool. So I kind of already talked about this, but question 3 is, what are you most excited about with this new channel? And the thing I'm most excited about is being able to interact with the community. And I already talked about that a lot, so I'm not going to talk about it too much more because I don't want to be super repetitive, but I just love the idea of being able to interact with people I wouldn't get to interact with otherwise, and I think it'll be fun to, you know, say things in a video and then see how people react to that. Or see if people share the same opinions, or if people have differing opinions. I think it would be a lot of fun, honestly. Question number 4. Why do you love reading? I mean, I've honestly always loved reading. From the time I was young, my mom would read to me before bed, and I would always pick the same book, and she was always so tired of me picking the same exact book out. So she would try to get me to pick different books, but I would always pick out the same, like, I Spy book or something. And she was always like, please pick something else, because I just loved rereading my favorites over and over and over again. And then when I got older, I just really loved reading books. I would always kind of read above my age level as I grew up. And I just always loved, like, the escapism and getting into a story and just being able to experience this different world, even if it takes place in our world, this different, you know, view of somebody's life, or this different world in which you're in somebody's life, essentially. Like, it's very different from what you experience, and even if it's something similar to what you've experienced, it's still different enough to give you that escapism, which is really fun. So the honest answer is, I've always loved reading, and I think I always will love reading, because it's just so much fun to get into this world and be a part of it for a little while and kind of escape from what is honestly kind of a mundane life, to be honest. At least right now. Hopefully that changes in the future, but you know, the escapism, I think, is the reason I love reading the most. And I also love to collect books. I mean, you can see small bits of that kind of behind me, but my collection is almost 800 books. Like, I love to collect books. I love to have them with me and be able to just pick them up and read them whenever I want. I've recently gotten into annotating books, so I really love doing that while I read. And it's a lot of fun, honestly. Question number 5. What book or series got you into reading? This is a little awkward. We don't talk about her anymore. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna talk about it. I know it's a controversial thing now to talk about Harry Potter, and honestly, I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I completely disagree with a lot of J.K. Rowling's opinions, and I have been struggling for about a year now with how to view the Harry Potter series, because I loved it for about 10 years and then suddenly found out that the author was not who I thought she was, and that our opinions totally clash, and I don't know how to feel about it now. But the honest answer to this question is the Harry Potter series, along with things like the Hunger Games, Twilight, Divergent series. I could also include Percy Jackson on the list. I mean, pretty much anything I read in my later elementary school, early middle school years are the things that really got me into reading and collecting books. So the honest answer is, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you choose to view it, the Harry Potter series. But I think that even though I don't endorse J.K. Rowling, and I'm not going to talk about Harry Potter a lot on this channel just because I so heavily disagree with the transphobia that J.K. Rowling has kind of shown over the past year, even though she claims that she's not a transphobe, but whatever. I don't really know how to navigate this. I don't know what the right way is, but all I know is the real answer to this question is going to be things like Harry Potter. But I'll talk a little bit more about the other series, things like I mentioned, the Hunger Games, Divergent, Percy Jackson, things like that. I'll mention a little more because all of these things led only not to me reading a lot more and collecting books, but also inspiration to write, because I love to write. I write novels and I really enjoy that. And it was stories like that and things like that that really inspired me to write my own. And once again, fortunately or unfortunately, however you choose to view it, Harry Potter was one of those things that inspired me. So as much as I really don't want to talk about it, I can't ignore the fact that it was such a huge part of my life, and honestly still is. So however you choose to view that, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. And again, I really disagree with J.K. Rowling's opinions. I don't want to ignore how much of a part of my life that was. Question number 6. What would you ask your favorite booktubers? Honestly, the main thing I would ask is, how did it feel when you were starting out and when you were first making videos? Were you confident, or were you a nervous mess like I am right now? because oh my god, watching, like, making videos and then waiting to see how they do is so nerve-wracking. Like, I can't even explain. I have a second channel that I guess because there's no like starting tags, there's no like newbie tag for gaming videos that I know of. So watching that channel kind of not really do anything is so nerve-wracking, and I'm like, what if this channel never takes off? I mean, I don't care if I never get like thousands of subscribers or anything. I just want like some people to watch it. You know, I just want some interaction, because that's the whole reason I kind of start the channels, is because I love to make videos and I want to interact with the community. So my questions would be, were you nervous, and how long did it take to kind of build a community where you could kind of talk to people and where people would comment and you could respond and you could really build that kind of community with people? Question number 7. What challenges do you think will be hardest to overcome with this new channel? I've mentioned before that I am very nervous in front of the camera, so I think the hardest thing to overcome is going to be my nervousness in front of the camera. And I'm so worried that it'll seem like I'm disinterested or upset or something just because I'm really nervous and I'm not smiling a lot. I'm worried about making too much eye contact with you. And then I'm like, if I'm looking around and like looking at the room, I'm like, should I be making eye contact with the camera? I have no idea what I'm doing, okay? So the other thing I think is going to be hardest to overcome is my own insecurity, because I know I filmed my 21 books to read in 2021, which you should go watch if you haven't seen it yet. I think it's a pretty good video. Has some interesting books on there. But when editing, I'm just critiquing the way I look, and I'm like, God, I look terrible, because I have no self-esteem. So I'm just like critiquing the way I look and the way I'm talking and the way I'm doing things, and I think overcoming my own insecurity when it comes to filming videos is just going to be a little difficult. But I think the more I do it, the more I'll be at ease with the way I look and the way I'm talking. I'll get more comfortable and I'll just get more used to doing this. Fingers crossed. And the final thing I think is going to be hard to overcome is remembering to do thumbnails, because I know when I filmed videos a couple of years ago, I was terrible at this. I could not, for the life of me, remember to do the stupid thumbnail. So I would have to pick out a random image from the video, and it always looked terrible. Terrible! Question number 8, which I kind of answered already. When did you start reading? And the honest answer is, I've always been reading. As long as I could, I have been reading. My mom read to me when I was little, and from the moment I could start reading on my own, I did. And that is the short and honest answer to that question. I have always been reading, and I think I always will, as long as I can. Question number 9. Where do you read? Mostly in bed, which I know for a lot of people doesn't work. Like, people will get sleepy if they read in bed, but honestly for me it's super comfortable and it works. The other reason is I have obsessive compulsive disorder, and so I'm very limited on where I can like sit down because I'm such a germaphobe. So my room is my clean space, so the pretty much only place I can read, and it's a long story, and like if you're curious, comment down below and I will answer your questions. Like, I am not uncomfortable talking about it at all. I just don't want to put it in here because I'm worried it'll be boring. But essentially my bed is the only place I really can read, so that is why I mainly read there. And the final question, question number 10, is what kind of books do you like to read? So personally, I like mainly YA and middle grade books. I've tried reading some adult books and I've liked some of them and disliked others. So it really just depends on the book, but mostly I find myself reading YA and middle grade, and mainly fantasy and contemporary. I do read some sci-fi and I have a lot of classics that I do read, but mainly it's fantasy and contemporary for me. I find that I like those the most. And I really like things that are like contemporary with magical realism. I think that's really fun. So the answer is I read all kinds of books within the YA and middle grade, what would you call it, like group, I guess. But I'm open to reading any kind of book, really. I have to avoid some things just because of certain triggers, but honestly, I am open to reading almost anything. So put a book in front of me and I'll see if I'll like it. Okay, so this has been the BookTube Newbie Tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below and I will be sure to answer them. You can also subscribe to this channel to see more bookish content from me, because I will be uploading more videos on this channel. And you can follow my Twitter in the link in the description below. And also be sure to follow my gaming channel, Ink and Plum Bob. It'll be linked in the description below and also at the end of this video, hopefully, if I can get that to work. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!